Today, we're embarking on a chilling journey into the world of nuclear explosions, where unimaginable power meets devastating consequences. From the smallest to the largest, we'll take you on a gripping countdown of the top 10 most powerful blasts in history. Get ready to witness the awe-inspiring anatomy of a nuclear bomb and the catastrophic impact it can have. After the detonation, a nuclear bomb sets off a chain reaction that gives birth to a colossal fireball. This fiery monster engulfs its surroundings, radiating a blinding light and a scorching heat wave. Picture it like a balloon, growing larger and larger as it ascends through the air. As the searing fireball rises, it encounters cooler, denser air high in the atmosphere, resulting in a distinctive feature we've all come to recognize: the iconic mushroom cloud. This cap structure is formed as the rising fireball is flattened by the atmospheric pressure, creating a mesmerizing sight that dominates the sky. But there's more to this extraordinary phenomenon. A powerful updraft of air and debris spirals through the center of the cloud, forming the tower stem of the mushroom cloud. It's a stunning display of nature's forces at work. Surrounding the cloud, you may notice peculiar rings, known as Wilson clouds, caused by atmospheric pressure changes and water condensation. These additional elements add to the otherworldly beauty of the scene. At number 10, we have the Ivy Mike test. Back in 1952, the U.S. decided to show off and dropped the Mike. This was the world's first hydrogen bomb. This used hydrogen fusion to make a crazy huge explosion, way bigger than those atomic bombs they used in World War II. This was a part of the Ivy program and weighed around 140,000 pounds. When it set off, this test produced 10,400 kilotons of explosive power and was 700 times more powerful than the bomb they dropped on Hiroshima back in '45. You can say this was the mother of atomic bombs with the Mike device. Moving on to number 9, we have Castle Romeo. This is a part of the Castle project tests by the U.S. The U.S. was experimenting like no other and started running out of islands to test, so they had to improvise and came up with something else. They ended up deciding to conduct the first ever test on a barge in the middle of the ocean. Initially, according to scientists, it was going to give off around 4,000 kilotons of energy, but ended up giving off more than double that amount, reaching 11,000 kilotons. The visuals were off the charts. We're talking about one of the most jaw-dropping images ever captured of a nuclear blast. The fireball was massive, fierce, and just downright epic. With this experiment, the U.S. took their testing to another level, and the results were shocking. Number 8. Soviet Test 123. Our journey continues with number 8. In 1961, the Soviet Union decided to do some experiments and called this test number 123, and it was just one of the 57 tests they did that year. Guess they just liked blowing things up. Test number 123 was just something else, because when it went off, it gave off 12,500 kilotons of pure explosive energy that vaporized everything within a 2.1-mile radius. The Soviets headed over to this place called the Novaya Zemlya Archipelago in northwestern Russia. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's a bunch of islands where they could do their nuclear testing without too many prying eyes. Number 7. Castle Yankee. Number 7 takes us back to the United States. This was another part of the Castle program by the U.S. In 1954, this explosion gave off 13,500 kilotons of energy, which is why it's described as the Hulk of nuclear tests, because this was the second most powerful test they did. Within 4 days of the blast, its fallout reached Mexico City, roughly 7,100 miles or 11,400 kilometers away. At number 6, we have the Castle Bravo test. Bravo was the first Castle test the U.S. did. There was a little design error that caused scientists to miscalculate not by just a little bit, but by a lot, and the explosive power ended up being 15,000 kilotons, which is 2.5 times more than what they were expecting. The scientists must have been like, oops. So listen to what happened next. It went off, and the next thing you see is a giant mushroom cloud that shot up 25 miles in the sky. The aftermath? 7,000 square miles of the area got contaminated, and those living nearby got hit with radioactive fallout. It wasn't just the nearby areas that got affected. The impact of this blast was felt across the globe. These traces of nuclear fallout were found in places like Australia, India, Japan, and even parts of Europe. You can say that this was the most powerful accidental nuclear bomb ever tested by the US, and a case of a crazy experiment gone wrong. Numbers 5, 4, and 3. Soviet tests number 173, 174, and 147. The Soviets were up to some serious testing back in 1962. In total, they conducted 78 nuclear tests, and 3 of those unleashed some mind-blowing explosions that ranked among the most powerful ever recorded. The Soviet tests, number 173, 174, and 147, were incredible, with each giving off 20,000 kilotons of energy, which is equal to 20 million tons of TNT going off at once. The Soviets kept these tests top secret, so no photos or videos of these mind-boggling explosions have ever seen the light of day. Moving closer to the top, number 2, Soviet test number 219. This time, they decided to set off a nuclear bomb using one of those intercontinental ballistic missiles, and to do this, they set it off at about 3.8 kilometers or 2.3 miles above sea level. The scary part is that this explosion was not like your regular run-of-the-mill firecracker. It packed a punch like no other. We're talking about the second most powerful nuclear explosion ever recorded. It had a yield of 24,200 kilotons, which is insane. You'll be surprised to know that its destructive radius stretched out to approximately 25 miles, or 41 kilometers. That's one serious boom. Can you imagine the sheer power of that explosion? The shockwaves and devastation caused by that blast must have been mind-blowing. Finally, we reached number 1, the Tsar Bomba, also called the Big Ivan, which was a total beast. It was so huge that they needed a special plane altered just to carry the bomb, because a regular aircraft just couldn't handle the weight. They even had to attach a gigantic parachute to the bomb, just so the plane could make a quick getaway. When the bomb set off in 1962, it unleashed 50,000 kilotons of pure destruction, and it wiped out an old abandoned village that was 34 miles or 55 kilometers away. Not only that, but it caused an earthquake too. The explosion was so powerful that it shook things up and rocked the surrounding area with a magnitude 5.0 to 5.25 earthquake. Originally, this bomb was designed to be a 100,000 kiloton bomb, but the scientists were concerned that this is taking it a bit too extreme, so they decided to cut it down in half. Yeah, they had to tone it down, but wait till we tell you what happened after. When the Tsar Bomba went off, its mushroom cloud was something out of this world. That thing soared through the sky and reached a height of over 37 miles, or 60 kilometers. This is 6 times higher than the altitude at which commercial airplanes move. Since there's no doubt that the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki were devastating, it's even scarier to know that the explosive power used then was just a tiny fraction of what Tsar Bomba gave off. The kind of destruction this is capable of is on a whole nother level. So what do you think about these nuclear explosions? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on that bell icon to always be updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon in another video.